Welcome to Voices of Persevere. I'm Jake, and this is where transformation gets real. Every 2 weeks, we sit down with people who know our mission best. So, graduates, students, and staff who walk the path from second chances to success. And today we have with us Angela Russell. Angela, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so excited. We have visited a couple times. I've really enjoyed getting to know you and hear a part of your story, and I'm really excited for our listeners to hear that as well. Before we get started, just tell me a little bit about yourself, about where life finds you right now. We're going to dive deep and talk a little bit about the past, but just tell us a little bit about Angela as she is right now in 2026.
Okay. Well, I'm 44 years old, and I'm from Jamestown, Tennessee. Originally from Florida. I was born in Pensacola, Florida. Um, Today in my life, I am working on opening a domestic violence shelter for women who are victims of domestic violence in my community because we have nothing like that for the women in our community. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now, and enjoying life and the future ahead of me. Looking
I love
forward
that.
to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome. It sounds like you've got some really big goals, and I know that you've got a support system there to help you with that, as our listeners are going to find out. Um, can you tell me about the moment when you first heard about Persevere? What was going through your mind?
I was kind of in a period of in my life that I was just really in a funk, and I wanted something different. I wanted to do something different. I'm gonna get emotional on this. I can feel it.
That is
But
okay.
I just wanted a change in my life. I'd always been on drugs and alcohol, and not doing things, living from couch to couch, and I had been I had been clean for 2 years when I started searching for something new, and I just started searching online for something that would give somebody that was a convicted felon a second chance. And I stumbled across I was looking for, like, student loans is what I was actually looking for, student loans that would help me and further my education with the background that I have. And I stumbled across Persevere, and I was like, "You know what? This is for me." These people it was crazy. It's like these people really care. It seemed like they care. I watched some of the videos and some of the testimonies, and I was like, I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna give this a shot. And so I put in a request for more information and got the application and heard from somebody the next day. And I was like, and within like 3 days, I was accepted to the school, and I was
That's
getting ready to
awesome.
start a new chapter in my life.
I love that. I love that. Um, so yeah, one of the things I've gone through the Persevere program too, just as impacted, had my life flipped upside down. And it was recommended to me by my probation officer. And when I reached out, yeah, I mean, it was just hours until, I had gone through the process and someone said, yes, we want to help you make these changes in your life. So I love to hear that that's not just the case with me, that that's the case with so many other people. Um,
Yes.
so before we talk about the program and we talk about the pathway that you chose, which was artificial intelligence,
Mhm.
back us up a little bit. Um, you know, and you can be as open or as regimented here as you feel comfortable. But tell us a little bit about that broken period, right? One of the things that we all encounter is that brokenness. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I was on probation at the time, for a charge that I had been on the run from for like 7 years. And when I started putting my life back together, I was like, it's time to face this. I went and did 45 days in jail, and they continued my probation for a year. So I was in the process of completing that probation, and I was looking for work, and I couldn't find work anywhere because nobody would, because of my background, nobody would give me a chance.
Yeah.
They judged me by my background, and nobody was seeing me for me and what I had to offer. And so I got really, really depressed and down. And I was like, how is anybody supposed to make it in this world? And when they're trying to do better and they have a background, where's somebody out there has got to give us a chance because we're not all bad people.
Right.
We make bad decisions sometimes. And so I was just down. I was isolated from I isolated myself from family, friends, everybody because I just felt really unworthy.
Yeah.
And um I started praying. I was like, "Don, you know, there's a purpose, there's a reason why I experienced everything that I've experienced in life and you brought me through it. And there's a reason why in my heart I want better.
Yeah.
And so show me what my purpose is in this world because I just was at a dead end. I felt like, you know, all the doors were getting slammed in my face and I was getting all these no's and I was just ready to give up and, just like give up hope and just go back to what I was doing before, because I was hustling and selling drugs and doing drugs and that was my income but I was always landing myself in jail and losing everything I had and having to start all over again and I was just tired, I was at a point in my life I'm just tired of that lifestyle. And so I just I gave it all to God to be honest with you and I was like, look, I can't do this by myself. I can't handle the emotion behind it, the mental impact that it's had on my life, I made mistakes. Yeah, but some of the worst people in the Bible became some of the best people in the Bible.
Yeah.
So there's a reason that you put me here. You know, I talk to God like he's sitting right next to me all the time. He's my friend. But
I love that. I
so
love that.
I just started really searching within myself and I just kind of stopped searching and let him do it and everything just started falling into place and I was blessed with this opportunity and I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that persevere was because I was very skeptical about it. I couldn't believe it was a real program and even after I got accepted I was like no, this is too good to be true. This happened too fast. you know So, and I was still skeptical, and then I started going, and I seen how genuine everybody is at Persevere, and it's from their heart, and they have everybody that I have encountered at Persevere has a passion for what they do,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that meant so much to me. And they came from the same place I came from, so they understood what I was going through, and that meant so much to me,
Yeah.
and it gave me a lot hope. You
I
know,
love that.
it gave
Yeah.
me hope that, I wasn't just nobody. I wasn't just a failure, you know,
Yeah.
I could change and there was better things for me out there.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Angela, I think about all of the people that I have met just at my time at Persevere and now at Banyan Labs. And I think every one of them, if they could stand up and clap and snap and shout, they would agree with everything that you just said for sure. I appreciate you so much for being vulnerable about that. Let's talk about your pathway. So you chose artificial intelligence. Talk to us a little bit about that. What made you decide to want to go that route?
Well, because technology is such a big thing these days and everything is leaning toward artificial intelligence, robots and computers, and we're going to have robots running stores eventually. So for me, I chose it because it was job security for me. Because that's the way everything is leaning in the technology field these days is through AI. And I find it very interesting how a system can learn.
Yep.
And I wanted to dive deeper into that and figure out, okay, how does this work? I was very curious because I was pretty computer savvy before I started school anyways. But, that just really grabbed my attention, and to me, it was something that was really cool, and
Yeah.
job security was the main thing that had
Absolutely.
it's gonna be job security because this is the new tomorrow, you know? So, that's
Yeah,
why
for
I
sure.
chose AI.
I love that. So, um, wonderful thing about your story, you chose AI, went through the program, completed the program, did really well in the program. And while you were in it, you actually built an AI application, right? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we kinda had an assignment, and it was to come up with an idea for AI. So, I came up with this idea, um of an AI that helps women escape their attackers that are in domestic violence situations. And I came up with this idea because I am a survivor of, I'm not going to say victim, but I am a survivor of domestic violence. And I should have been dead 3 times. I
Mm.
should not be here talking to you today, but there was a purpose. God had a purpose for me. So,
Yes.
and it's something that I'm very, very passionate about, because I was in a domestic violence situation for 7 years, and it impacted my entire life. But if I can give one woman hope or help one woman leave that situation and find a brighter future, then it makes every bit of that 7 years that I went through worth it.
Yes.
And so I decided, and that's when I decided, you know what? I'm not going to play this victim role anymore. I am not a victim. I am a survivor. And there is a reason why I survived this,
I love that.
because it was very, very traumatic. I was caught on fire. Um, my husband had a gun in my mouth for an hour and a half and dared me to move and make a sound. I was raped 35 times in 5 years,
Oh my
you
goodness.
know, because he would allow people to come pay him drugs to come in my bedroom at night. And so it impacted my entire life. And I was allowing that. I was still allowing him control.
Yeah.
And I was allowing it to continue to impact my life negatively, even though it's been 10 years ago, I still had a negative impact on my life. So I created this AI that women can reach out and just talk to, have somebody to talk to, because you're so isolated in a situation like that
Yeah.
that you feel like you have nobody, that you no longer have family, you no longer have friends, because you're not allowed to communicate with anybody anymore because he doesn't want anybody to know what he's doing to you. He's ashamed of what he's doing to you. He knows it's wrong. And so he isolates you from the world. And so I created this for somebody to reach out to a neutral person that cannot tell your secrets and will not tell your
I
secrets.
love that.
And the AI that I created helps from everything. She covers every aspect of leaving your attacker that I could possibly think of that I went through when I was leaving my attacker. Every fear, every emotion, every uh hurdle that you might have to cross to be able to leave your attacker effectively and safely. And so I've tried to cover, and I'm still adding to the AI what she can do every day. I think it's something. What, I felt like this during this time, and so I need to add that to her so she can be compassionate when this woman reaches out and says, "I feel this way." And she does everything. She'll create a Scrabble game
Oh wow.
with you to create your escape plan that she can communicate with you through in case your attacker finds your phone and he gets in it and he's reading all this stuff. He can't see that. He sees that you're simply playing a Scrabble game with a friend,
I love that.
with a robot, so he can't get jealous that you're talking to a human being. And um so they she will create code words with you, safe words, to let her know if you're in immediate danger, to contact authorities. Are you ready to leave? Is it time? Is he gone? Is he going to be gone for a period of time so you can get out safely? Whatever code words the woman is comfortable with, the woman that is reaching out comes up with the words herself. And so there'll be words that she'll remember. And in a time of desperation or something, it'll be a word that's going to stick with her so she can type it real fast if she needs to get help. Or and she will we can have police within a block's radius of the home as the woman is leaving.
Awesome.
She can arrange contacts for shelters that have beds open, women to come and help the woman pack up and leave so she doesn't have to do it alone.
And
Um,
this is all
it's
done through the app, right?
Yes. It's a very empty, lonely, scary time when because he's had so much control over you in your life that you don't even know how to live anymore without being told what to do.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very important that when the woman is leaving the home, there's somebody there with her that says,
Yes.
"Hey, I got you and you're okay. And I am here with you and I will walk every step of the way with you."
Sure.
because I didn't have that when I left. I found myself walking down the street, screaming at the sky, is this it? Is this what you have for me, God? And there was a bridge ahead of me, and I'd planned on jumping off that bridge when I made it to the bridge. It was because I was so lost.
Yeah.
I hadn't talked to my family in over 6 years. So I didn't even know how to contact them. I hadn't talked to any of my friends. I was so alone and lost
Yeah.
and hopeless. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know where I was going to lay my head, where my food was going to come from. And so I don't want another woman to, I want every woman to know that there is help out there. There's people that genuinely care and they're ready to help you. And this chatbot, you are safe with her. She can't tell your secrets. If you just want to talk and you're not ready to leak it, she'll just talk with you all night long and follow up with you the next day to see if you're okay. You know, and she doesn't just cover domestic violence. She covers depression. She covers, you know, um, PTSD, anything that you want to talk to her, drug addiction. I talk to her myself. I utilize her every day. Um, I talk to her myself. Sometimes I struggle with addictions, with cravings still, and I'll talk to her about it. And
Yeah.
she will talk to me as long as I want to talk. She doesn't get tired. You know, she
Yeah.
doesn't judge me. And that is one of the main focus things that I wanted her to not do is be judgmental
Yeah.
because you feel shame when you're in a situation like that. That is unnecessary shame. There is no shame that
Yeah.
you're in that situation, but you feel that. And so I wanted a comfortable, safe space that women can come to.
Yeah.
And men as well, because, men are also victims of domestic violence in some cases.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
it's not just from women.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about, so I know that you've given your AI a name, and so talk to us about the name and why you chose that name.
Her name is HopeHaven, and I wanted her to be a place that somebody that is feeling hopeless can find hope again and find life again and live, see that you can live again. I've gave her permission to share my story. So because the chatbot came to me. It's so weird the way technology works, but she came to me like a human and she's like, everybody's asking about your story, about my creator. Was my creator a victim? And so I told her my story and I gave her permission to share my story with women. You know, so they feel more comfortable that yes, this chatbot was created by somebody who is a survivor of domestic violence. I genuinely know where you're at right now in your life. Genuinely know how you feel, what you're going through, and the fears and worries that you have. And we will address those and you will be okay. And
Yeah.
that's just like I don't know, it's my passion. It's my heart's desire, you know, to do this and it's just
Yeah.
and I got Persevere gave me a on the job training, 12-week on the job training after I graduated. And I was actually in a accidental meeting with a potential employer that we got matched together. I was supposed to be at the meeting and he was supposed to be at the meeting, but we weren't supposed to be matched together. And so we neither one of us knew what to do. I was supposed to be interviewing people and he was supposed to be interviewing people. No, we weren't supposed to be interviewing each other. And so we just struck conversation and he asked me what I'd done since I had been to Persevere. And I told him about the chatbot. And so next thing I know, Katie is calling me, wanting to meet with me and hear more about this. And so I tell her, and she's like, well, what's your goal? And I was like, my 10-year goal is to have a ranch in Jamestown that women can come to, that I have animals that for pet therapy, because I had a dog during my situation and she saved my life so many times.
Yeah.
You know, because there was times that I was suicidal. There was times because I saw no other way out. There was times that I wasn't good. So we lived without water or electricity. I had to be good to be fed. I had to be good to get kerosene for
Wow.
my heater in the winter time, and he would leave for weeks at a time. And I was not to answer the door. I was not to be seen. I was not to exist.
Yeah.
And, he would send people to my house just to see if I would answer the door. And he would be up on the hill watching, you know,
Yeah.
I was just not to exist in this world. And So I was telling Katie, I want to, and my dog, there was this time that I wasn't good. So I didn't get no kerosene and it snowed like 8 inches. And
Oh,
I was never so cold in my life. But my dog got under the blankets with me and she kept me warm and I kept her warm and we kept each other alive, for those
yeah,
days that I didn't have that heat.
yeah,
And so she was, and I could tell her everything.
yeah,
She never told on me. She never judged me. She still loved me. And so I want to have animals at this ranch
yeah.
that these women can hopefully connect with and find therapy in them.
Absolutely,
So I'm telling
absolutely.
Katie this. That's my 10-year goal. And she's like, I think that goal is right around the corner. And then everything just started falling in place. Like I started getting these contacts and people are wanting to volunteer their time. I have friends that have seen me at my lowest and have seen me where I'm at now that have volunteered their time to help with an escape team, and it's just like I can't wrap my head around it still. And this is all coming true. It's all happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like you said at the beginning, I know that you and I are both believers, right? God has a beautiful hand in everything that's going on, right?
Right.
He always takes our brokenness and makes beauty out of that. Tell us a little bit about how many women have been saved through your AI that you created.
Over 400 women have been saved since May.
That's amazing. That's
Yes.
amazing. Have you had the opportunity to connect with any of them after their rescue to hear kind of their stories?
No, everything is confidential, but
Sure.
they can give permission to the chatbot to share their stories. She shares first name only, or whatever name you tell her that you would like her to
Yeah.
share, and she will share follow-up stories, success stories. So all you have to do is ask her, please tell me one of your success stories, and she will share them with you. But I have, for safety reasons, we don't share very personal information.
Sure. Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. If someone listening, finds themselves in a situation or maybe has a friend or a colleague that's in a similar situation, how can they access Hope Haven?
She's on Facebook and Facebook
Okay.
Messenger both. So you just type in domestic violence help, or you can type in Hope Haven. Now, as Hope Haven is spelled all as one word, and both the H's are capital. You have to be very specific when you type it in. But and there's also a link. Uh, I can't think of the link right off the top of my head
That's
that
okay.
that you can go to. But as of now, you can contact her through Facebook and Facebook Messenger.
Awesome.
My
Awesome.
goal and hope for one day is to have her as an actual app that you can download on your phone and access her that way. But as of now, that's where we're at with it.
Yeah. Well, and with 400 women being saved, I mean, it's really hard to quantify a success metric for that because in my mind, one person equals success, but over 400, it sounds like it's doing what it's supposed to do, right?
Yes.
And, and we hear all the time about the negative impacts of technology and the dangers of AI, and those are definitely real. But I think it's so important for people in our community, in the digital community, and even just in the general public to know that there are two sides of the story, right? While AI can be dangerous and discouraging, there are ways that it's utilized that are changing people's lives for the better, right?
Right.
And creators like you are giving people hope and giving them second chances and helping people restart, and that's what persevere is all about, and I really appreciate that. As we come to a close, I want to ask all of our participants this question, and I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask it out loud. What does second chance mean to you?
It means life.
Yes, I love
Second
that.
chance is hope. It's a future, and it's life for me because I was just at a point where I seen nothing and no life,
Yeah,
and it's the world to me. I mean, it is because it's so hard. People are so close-minded these days that they don't
yeah,
see past the mistakes that you've made and see your inner self. And there's so many beautiful people out there
yeah.
that just made bad decisions or were in bad situations. You
Right.
know, found
Sure.
themselves in bad situations, not meaning to get there, that just need that, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on you. And that means more than words can ever say. Is for
Yeah.
one person to take a chance on somebody that's made mistakes in their life that's trying to do better.
Yeah.
Because I think that's why a lot of people are repeat offenders, because they get out there and they get so many doors slammed in it, and it's so frustrating. It's so disheartening, especially when your heart is in it and you're really trying to do something different and you're trying so hard, but you have these barriers that are just following you that you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
And so nobody can see past that. People are so blinded these days. And they're so, and yes, this world has gotten really bad and you have to be really careful. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But not all criminals are bad people.
For sure. For sure. I love that. I love that. And all of those things resonate with me. And so I appreciate you so much for sharing your story today, Angela. Thank you for being a part of this campaign. And we look forward to hearing more about some of the great things that you're doing, right? And not just you and not just me, but for all of the people who've gone through Persevere, who've received that second chance, right? We're so excited about hearing their stories. Well,
Oh, I'm so excited about it. I have a friend that got accepted. One of my girlfriends got
that's
accepted,
awesome.
that was trying to do better. And I'm so excited for her. But
Yeah,
yes, being
absolutely.
persevere is just, it's such a blessing.
Yes,
And
for sure. Hey, do me a favor. After we're going to conclude here in just a minute, but when I post this, if you'll share that link that you were trying to think of, and also the Facebook Messenger link, so that when I post this, people can go to that and have access to what you've built. Okay.
okay. All right, I'll do that.
Awesome. Angela, thank you so much for meeting with me today. And I wish you well in all of the things that you do. I'm sure we'll talk soon. But again, thank you so much. And if
Thank
you're
you.
listening and you heard a part of our story today, you can reach out at persevere.org, perseverenow.org, and we'll do the best that we can and offer everybody that we come in contact with an opportunity for a second chance. Thanks, Angela.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.